I see these, channels pop up and they're so genuine and you're connecting with people and they're telling their stories. And I really wanted to jump on this opportunity because I always feel like the construction industry's always last at this kind of stuff. And then when we look at our industry as a whole, most of the conversations online are from business owners, marketers like myself, or engineers, supervisors, project managers, and they're talking about the construction industry, but we don't have the skilled trades workers having a voice. There is a career path with all of them, and how you can climb the ladder and like even own your own company if you wanted to. So it's just incredible, the stories that are coming out, and all the things that you get to learn from the individual construction workers. I just don't think it's fair when you're in high school and you just get pushed down one route, which is college. Maybe sometimes they push you towards military, but there's so many other opportunities out there that they're not even, have the chance to see. So I just want to make sure we're spreading that word as honestly and authentically as we can. And, you can make that decision about your career path. You have all the opportunities laid out in front of you. So you don't, spend a ton in student loans, Yeah. So you don't see construction people on career days talking about construction jobs. So it's just, and like I said earlier, it's because they can't leave the job. They have a budget and a schedule, and that's the most important thing. And we're already short-staffed. So it's really hard to make those connections with the next generation.
Welcome, everybody, to the next episode of the Construction MF'ers Podcast. I am Scott Peper, CEO and founder of Mobilization Funding, and today we are going to kick off National Apprenticeship Week in style. I have a great friend and guest here with me, Stacey Holsinger. She is the founder of Steel Toe Communications and now a new tool, a new program, a new channel called Chat CTE, and we're going to talk all about it today, but we're going to tackle the problems that face the construction industry. And one of the biggest ones is attracting new and younger talent to the industry and telling real stories about the values, the benefits, and everything that this industry offers. And Stacey has been at the tip of the spear of that, and now she's bringing new tools and excitement to it, and I can't wait for her to tell you. Stacey, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah. So tell me about Chat CTE. What brought that to fruition?
Yeah. So Chat CTE stands for Career Technical Education. And it's a new national social media campaign, skilled trades campaign, to connect career explorers to the trades. And so it actually started back when I was working with one of the largest mechanical contractors in the DMV area. We were doing a lot of social media in 2015, and we had a YouTube channel, and we thought YouTube was a great way, the second largest search engine, to drive more traffic, especially to recruit careers, or to recruit candidates for hard to fill positions in HVAC and plumbing, right? So we were thinking, what kind of videos can we create? And I came upon a guy in the UK. He had a company called 𝗦𝗹𝗿𝗀 Aggregates, and he was doing these day in the life videos about his business and being really transparent about equipment failures or job failures or hiring troubles. They're very entertaining, informative, and inspiring. And he partnered with one of his buddies that owned a video production company. So he was constantly doing these videos, and they were just taking off on YouTube. And at the time I went to my boss and I said, can I try one of these day in the life videos? What is your hardest position to fill right now? And he said, HVAC technician. So I'm like, just give me a little bit of money and we'll work with our interns. So we'll make it a learning experience just in case it doesn't do anything or take off. So he's like, great, have at it. So I had my 2 interns and they spent a day with an HVAC technician, just riding around from morning till the end of the day, on all the different job sites he visited and just interviewed him about the day. And then we edited the video and put it on YouTube. And it just took off and it did really well. And it still does to this day. It has about 400,000 views and it's 9 years later, and constant people on there commenting about considering a job in HVAC and asking about credentials and, how they got their start and how much does it pay. And the conversation just keeps going and going. So I'm like, we're on to something here. Not just that, but when I work with HR professionals and we're posting about jobs and I'm looking at job descriptions, they're so boring,
Oh
like
gosh, they're so boring.
they're painful. And every job description across the board says the same thing. It said competitive salary. Like,
Yeah.
what does that mean? Like, you're not doing any service and trying to recruit people to the trades or really showcase what this position's about. And if you talk to any construction worker, you'll know that every day is different on the job. So it is kind of hard to capture. So that's why video is the best tool
Mhm.
to do this. So, and like I said, when we launched that Day in the Life HVAC tech, we strategically put, where to apply if you were interested in the job and drive them to the careers page to fill out the application. So it works, and we saw it work. So this was an idea I had 9 years ago, and I really wanted to take the idea further, but I didn't know, life catches up with you and everything. And then I started my own business, January 21, left the mechanical contractor, and was trying to get more trades to incorporate video. Because if you see, since then TikTok took off, and then we have a YouTube shorts and reels, and videos just really taken off, especially short form. So then I got approached by 𝗦𝗹𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗀 and Harbor Freight's Tools for School in early 2023. And they asked me to join a national cohort of other individuals that were very passionate about changing the industry and recruiting people to fill these skilled trades positions that we need to fill. And on this cohort, there sat mostly educators, so CT instructors, HVAC, plumbing instructors. We had the head of the union carpentry. We had a lady out in Vermont that is now since started her own, she built her own aviation center and is recruiting young girls to build airplanes. So really cool, really smart people on this panel. And we would meet monthly to talk about different pilot programs and ideas that we wanted to pitch, and then do a ton of research on, what programs we want to pitch. And from this program is where I formed ChatCT, which is the idea that I've been, just thinking about for so long. And then over those 9 years, and with the incorporation of all these short form videos that are coming out, I've seen channels pop up that are similar. So like Salary Transparent Street, to name one. So she's in our area too. Hannah, her and her husband started this channel, I believe, 2 years ago on Instagram and TikTok. And they go out in the DC area and interview people about their careers and how much they make. And their whole spiel is to be transparent about your salary. And it has since took off. They do this full time now. They've met with lawmakers and have been an intricate part of passing, at least in Maryland, I don't know what other states, I know they're working on other states, but in Maryland on October 1st, they passed the salary transparency law, October 1st. So I see these, channels pop up and they're so genuine and you're connecting with people and they're telling their stories. And I really wanted to jump on this opportunity because I always feel like the construction industry's always last at this kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Um, and then when we look at our industry as a whole, most of the conversations online are from business owners, marketers like myself, or engineers, supervisors, project managers, and they're talking about the construction industry, but we don't have the skilled trades workers having a voice. Do
Well,
you want me?
tell me like how it works. So tell me how
Yeah.
the actual app program, what it is that you're developing, how does it work? Who uses it? How does someone benefit and get into it?
Okay. So, we wanted to make it an educational experience, and locally we wanted to start the pilot program because of all our resources are here. So what we're doing is we partnered with Montgomery County Public Schools that had an excellent history of their Summer Rise internship program, which was 5 weeks. So I serve as the middleman because I have the industry connections with the contractors between them and the educational system. So I hire interns and we go out and coordinate job site visits with various trades, and we interview them, film it on our phone, make small edits, and then post the videos on Instagram and TikTok. Now, I want to say that we're trying to fill the gap. So there's no union versus non-union. We're interviewing everybody.
Yeah.
Um, so we're going to whoever wants us out, we'll interview, and we'll ask them questions about like, how much money do you make? How did you get your start in this industry? What skills do you need? What type of materials and equipment do you work on? What type of projects have you worked on? That kind of stuff. And then post the videos online. And then of course the employer is allowed to go on and they're free to start recruiting in the comment section if they want, like happy to do that. But we do want to make sure the channels are biased because we're in this together. We're just trying to recruit people and career explorers to the trades in general to fill those positions. So that's kind of how it works and how it has worked. We've had so much interest now. So we've got funding from Harbor Freight's Tools for School to start boosting these videos. We partnered with Skills USA. We're going out to, we went out to their national competition back in June, interviewed a lot of the students that were participating in the competitions, and then they're inviting us out to Tennessee. We're going to ABC, Virginia, and DC, or I'm sorry, ABC, Virginia, and Baltimore to interview people for pre-apprentices to learn about, how they're getting involved. And then also apprentices in Virginia to see, how they got involved and what they like about their classes and like all different kinds of things like that to highlight Apprenticeship Week coming up in November. So that's pretty much what we're doing. And our goal for the channel is to represent every single trade. And since I've been doing this in June, we've hit a lot of the trades, but there's a long list. There's like 25 that I need to represent. So my goal is to capture a little bit about each career through the end of 2025. So for example, some people we're looking to cover would be underwater welding, glazing, boiler makers, concrete framers, iron workers, millwright, crane operation, painters, roofers, sprinkler fitters. I think those are pretty much the last on my list. But there's also really cool careers that are popping up that don't, when you visit like an ABC or a union company, you don't hear about. For example, construction cleaning crews. That is a thing. There's, you have to go out and do your rough cleans, your
Yeah.
final cleans. So I want to interview people like that. The elevator industry surprised me, maybe not other people, but those, when I look at lists of skilled trades roles, I never saw anything on elevator industry, and I met them at Skills USA, and apparently they're one of the highest paid careers that you can be in. So there's all these like little jobs that are popping up that we don't get to hear about.
No.
And the other big reason why we know ChatGPT will work, other than the short form interviews that are popping out on Instagram and TikTok, like Salary Transparent Street, there's other channels like this in different industries, and I don't want construction to miss out. So there's a channel called Body by Mark. He does something similar where he hits the streets in New York City and he looks for fit people, and he goes up to them and asks them, "Oh, what's your workout routine? What supplements do you take? What do you eat for breakfast, lunch, and dinner? How many hours of sleep do you get?" Just short questions, but they're all different answers. There's
Yeah.
another channel called Meet Cutes New York City, and this guy goes out. You'll never see this guy's face. So he goes out and he looks for couples in New York City, and he just asks them, like, "Tell me about, are you a couple? Tell me about how you met." And the stories just take off, and they're really entertaining to watch. So it's the same type of format for Chat CTE, but I am trying to connect the career explorers to trades that normally you don't get to learn about and are not highlighted, because as you know, there's not many shop classes. They all removed them in the 80s, I believe. So there's no way to connect someone that maybe isn't interested in college or the military, but wants to do something with their hands. How do they learn about these jobs? You know, like the construction workers, they can't leave the job site. They're already short-staffed to go to a school and talk to a group of students in hopes that they're going to inspire one person to join the industry. It's not going to work. We know it's
No,
not going to work.
it's not. One to many, though. There's so many tried and true methods with social media and putting a story out there and telling a new story. I love what you're doing because I'm actually giving a presentation at an upcoming conference about this exactly, and the misconceptions, which I think you've addressed a lot of them. One of them is salary. There's so many misconceptions that this is a place, the construction industry is a place you go when you basically can't make money somewhere else. You just have to like tough it out and work in this dirty job with your hands, and it's a low income field, which is a gross exaggeration and not true. And you can make more money, and the stats will, even data will show you that you can make more money as an electrical contractor, plumbing contractor, or skilled trades contractor of all different types and kinds. Not only are the starting salaries the same or better, but you're making that money even faster in your career. And the six-figure incomes are also a direct, clear path to those, much faster than many of the fields you could when you come out of school, even with a business degree, a finance degree, or a management degree. And we're not even comparing to liberal. If you compare it to liberal arts or others, it's not even close. Like it's
Right.
not even close, the income potential. And when you're talking to folks, especially younger folks, they have no idea that that's true. Most adults, older
Yeah, you don't
adults,
know
don't know
either.
that's true. And obviously us in the industry, we know a little of it, but you don't realize until you actually ask the question. So I think what you're doing is going to definitely take off. I think it definitely will bring it in. And it's exactly one of the things that I'm highlighting in that talk. And the second piece is you got to tell a different story. And the way you're going to tell this story, I think is awesome, fascinating, right from the
Yeah.
heart, right from the people, straight out of their mouth,
Mhm.
and in an engaging and entertaining way.
Yeah, and it goes back to those boring job descriptions, right? No one wants to read that stuff, and it's so vague. And these workers are willing to share like all the benefits, and so many different benefits are popping up too that I have never heard of. There was one company that said that they provide housing for their interns. I'm like, wow, like that's crazy. Other companies like full or healthcare insurance is covered. There's fringe benefits. Like there's all different stuff that's coming up from finally talking to the people. Um, and getting, and the ones that are not afraid to share their salaries or their career paths. And, there is a career path with all of them, and how you can climb the ladder and like even own your own company if you wanted to. So it's just incredible, the stories that are coming out, and all the things that you get to learn from the individual construction workers. And, not just the roles itself, because I feel like the general population just has a very, they're small-minded when it comes to like, what does construction do?
Mm.
So the variety that we're going to show on the channel, I think, will be enlightening for a lot of people that want to work with their hands and see all the different opportunities. It's not just like a couple trades. There's a lot of different roles and opportunities. And then not just, working with your hands, but you can move into an office role or a management role. Or there is, a lot of roles in construction too, which I'd love to highlight, where you use technology. So, robotics or AR or, building information modeling, those types of roles. So there's a lot to talk about.
I love it. So now, where is this platform going to primarily live? You said TikTok and Instagram.
Yes, TikTok and Instagram for right
Okay.
now. And TikTok, we're doing amazing. We don't have a lot of funding, so we're looking for more support on that front. And if we get more funding, obviously we can boost the posts and get and generate. But so far, most of our success has been organically. And like we just post a union electrician, and we're up to like 40,000 views on his video. So we're doing really well with views. We just need to get more followers, and we obviously will accept stories. If you have a character at your organization that really loves their job and what they do, and I can interview, I'd love to talk to them.
I can
Um,
definitely introduce you to some folks that would love to do it. Under the welding, underground or underwater welding, roofing,
oh,
sprinkler systems, concrete for sure, stucco drywall. What was the other one you mentioned? I took a note on.
we have a lot to fill because we just started.
Yeah, if you send me that list, I can make introductions to you all day long on that.
That would be
Underground
cool.
underwater welding is a really cool trade and specialty. It is
I
fascinating the
know.
amount of money that gets paid in anything to do with marine, especially underwater salvage. Underwater diving is a great career. I mean, real money. And it should be, obviously. I mean, if you're underwater welding a port in New York City in that water and you're willing to do that, that's not a huge population of people willing to do that. And so
It
there's a
takes
high
a
income
special
catch.
person. I
Very
just
risky.
interviewed a bridge construction worker, and
Mhm.
he works on the Bay Bridge, which is insane to me. And just talk to him, and then he's so humble. And I'm like, wait, you work on the Bay Bridge? Do you know how many people are terrified of that bridge here? I don't know if you've been over it, but it's about 4 miles long. Chesapeake Bay Bridge in Maryland. And
Mhm.
there's so many people that won't even drive over it and have hired drivers or Uber drivers to drive their car over. At least that's the rumor, because they're terrified to drive that bridge. So can you imagine like hanging off that bridge and working on it? I don't know
Why
how
are
they
they
do it.
terrified? Because of the Act Bridge accident that just happened, or just because it's a big bridge?
No, just because it's a scary, long, big bridge and it's high up there. I think it's like 200 feet or something. It feels like you're on there forever when you have to, it connects. Most people go over the bridge to get to uh, like Ocean City for shore vacations and things like that. So it's just a very scary bridge.
Yeah, I've been over it a few times. It's definitely a big bridge, no doubt about it.
Yeah. But it's like really cool careers like that we're not talking to the workers enough. And I want to learn about their experiences. So, and the videos are short form. I mean, they're usually about a minute. So we interview them longer, but we cut it down to a minute. So you can just quickly look at it and see if that's something you might be interested in. So yeah, but it's gained a lot of traction behind the scenes in a short time, and we've been invited everywhere. So we're excited to see where it's going to take off and really represent our industry. And we just hope that if anybody is a hands-on learner, they'll just check out our channel and go through the different trades and learn from the people themselves on what they liked about the job, what they didn't like about the job, how much they make, next steps, if that's something they want to do. And they can hear it directly from the worker, not from like a construction business owner or a marketer or somebody else. Like you're actually, hearing it from the person who has been in it for years.
On the job site. Like they're there.
Yes.
They didn't just show up with like a pretend stage and make it happen. It's something's actually really
Yeah.
happening in the background.
Yeah.
So why
Yeah.
did you choose TikTok and Instagram and not YouTube, for example?
Yeah. That's good. That's a good question. So we want to hit the younger generation. TikTok is still probably one of the newest social media channels. So, and it has proved the better organic reach. Instagram we're kind of struggling with. Um, YouTube, that just wasn't in the plan right now, but that's not to say that we want to grow on YouTube. Um, we just wanted to hit the younger audience first. The kids that are in middle school, high school, that are always on TikTok and Instagram, and get them interested first. So,
Love it. I love it. So what's the perfect demographic that you're going after or you hope to see? Like what age group are you trying to capture them like the earliest, I should say?
18, well, I don't know what the age limit is on these channels anymore, and they keep changing and trying to like have different laws, but at least 18 to 44, because we want, career changers too. Like if they're in a job and they're at an office job and they're so bored and they hate it and they don't want to be behind a screen, maybe they'll see one of our videos and consider getting in the trades. Women in construction, that's something that we want to tap into to get more women voices on our channel. Different diverse groups for sure.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Do you think, what do you think business owners in the construction field can do better now to tell this story themselves? So let's just say, obviously, getting on this channel, dialoguing back and forth would be a fantastic way to recruit, right? But
Mhm.
let's say for now, they can't, what are you educating, or they can't, there's no, the channel's not there yet. So what I'm saying now is like, you have a business owner, they need to recruit. What are your suggestions for how they go about telling this story themselves in their own channels?
On their own channels.
Yeah,
I
how
think,
are they, what should
yeah,
they do? How are they recruiting? What do young people want to see?
video. That's what they want to see. They want to connect with someone. I know it's hard for people are afraid of video and they're afraid to show their face and everything, but that's where you're really going to stand apart. If you have a careers page on your website, you should have a video there about what a day in a life is at your organization. Who are the people I'm going to be working with? What's the job entail? Like, don't just rely on a job that's so hands-on and visual. To just have like a job description isn't that's not gonna turn over well. So like just inviting people behind the scenes glimpse of your fabrication shop, or what projects you work on. Or if you don't want to do like a behind the scenes thing, just pick one or two employees that have been with you for a long time, and I'm sure they'd be happy to do a video testimonial that says, I've been working at this company for so long, and this is why I get to work on, all these cool projects. And not every day is the same because I'm doing this, that, and the other thing. And I've stayed here because of these reasons, whether it's like the owners are accessible and easy to talk to, or the benefits are great, or, I know that my job isn't stagnant. Like I have opportunities for growth. Like I've been here for 15 years and I started here and then I went here and I moved up here. Like tell those stories and show those stories on your own channel, and that will convert people to come work for your organization because it is so competitive right now. Every single one of my clients, I'm sure you can say the same, is hiring for multiple roles. And
Yeah.
some of those roles have been up there for months, and it's the same roles. Everyone's hiring for an estimator, project managers, superintendents, and all the skilled trades professionals. So now's not the time to be shy and hold back. And I know there's some companies that are like, well, if I put my best worker out there and, they say why they like working there, all these recruiters are going to come after them. Well, what I say to that is they're already coming after them.
Yeah.
Like everyone already has their own social media channels. Like they're already hitting them up. I mean, my husband does building information modeling, and he gets hit up all the time with opportunities. So that just shows that, and he's stayed with the company for so long, and it's because they take great care of him. If you take great care of your employees, you don't have to worry about that.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah, that's a very defensive mindset to take. It's better to be on the offense. Get out front, show what you're doing, let people attract. If someone can take a person away from your organization, then you're just probably not doing something right. And sometimes it just might not be the right fit. It might be a better fit for them. And you should
Yeah.
encourage them to explore those opportunities too and even help them. But yeah, I think you're right. That's a very scarcity mindset to worry about putting someone on a camera at your organization to recognize them and tell their story. Not doing that because of fear that someone's going to recruit them away is really a tough mindset to operate from.
Yeah. And I'm telling you, they're already trying to get them all the
Yeah.
time. So that's, anybody will tell you that. I mean, it's just a tough market right now. So just to be open and transparent and like better storytelling is what's going to recruit more people to your organization. We've seen it happen. So,
So tell me about National Apprenticeship Week. You mentioned that it's coming up here November 18th through the 24th. I'm interested in knowing a little bit more about why is that so important to you and how are you guys focusing on that?
so for the Chat CTE channel, it's important for us because one of our semi-viral videos was a carpenter apprentice. And so that tells us there's a lot of interest in starting a career in construction from the younger audience that's following us. So we want to make sure that we do talk to the students. There's a pre-apprenticeship program, which I'm not that familiar with, but I'm going to get to learn in a couple weeks, and we'll highlight them. Like, how do they find out about a pre-apprenticeship program? What does that even entail? Like, how do you even get your start? All those types of questions we'll answer. And then apprentices, I'm sorry, from year 1 to 4, whether it's electrical, insulation, pipe fitting. Hopefully we'll talk to some of those individuals and get to learn about like what skills do you need, what classes are difficult, what can you do to prepare, how do you get partnered with a company, like those types of questions, or just general like how are you feeling your 3rd year in your apprenticeship program, trying to pull those stories from people, because most people in our industry, the only reason they got involved in our industry, and we've highlighted this on our channel, is we hear it all the time, is um, through your grandfather, your dad, your mom, it's family.
Yeah,
No
like an
one's
accident.
saying, yeah, no one's saying, oh, my teacher, or I learned this in middle school and I got inspired, or I was in high school. And I've spent so much time promoting careers in construction and had a PowerPoint presentation, went to various schools and spoke to kids, but all the other career volunteers that are consistent are police, firefighters, healthcare professionals. Like they're always in the school system talking about all their opportunities. You don't see construction people on career days talking about construction jobs. So It's just, and like I said earlier, it's because they can't leave the job. They have a budget and a schedule, and that's the most important thing. And we're already short-staffed. So it's really hard to make those connections with the next generation. So that's why we started the channel.
I love it. It's a great way to bring it out too. A great way to do it.
Yeah.
So how can contractors that are watching this video now, companies, general contractors, subcontractors of all kinds and sizes, individuals, companies, how do they get involved with you and ChatCT?
Well, you can find me on LinkedIn, Stacey Holsinger, or you can email me at Stacey, STACEYH at 𝗦𝗹𝗶𝗀𝗀 and we can have a chat. We're trying to kick off this channel in the local DMV area first because, like I said, I don't have a lot of funding. And I do have a full-time job. So I have to take care of my clients. So if it's convenient for us to go out to a job site and interview some of your workers and get them up on the channel, great. We do have some sponsored trips. They have invited me out to San Diego and Tennessee. And if it works with our schedule and you guys are willing to help us and invite us out to interview, it has to be, a decent amount of people to make for that trip. For example, in Maryland, you could have someone as young as 16 out on a job site. I don't know if they can work, but I know that they can at least job shadow. And other states have different laws, like you have to be 18. And same with apprenticeship programs. There's just different stipulations, different salaries.
You
Yeah.
know, I know starting in the DC area, maybe that's something to get, well, DC Metro Virginia area, but getting the ability to find people, find the jobs is one thing, but your reach is going to be national. When you put it and post it, it's going out, right? It's not going to just
Yeah.
stay in the same geographical
Right.
market. And so I think you're going to find people wanting to be part of that channel, wanting to do it in different areas. And maybe hopefully, and maybe there's enough general themes where it won't get too state by state specific, but you'll be able to, capture the audience locally, but yet
Mhm.
people can extrapolate that for themselves out in each state and community.
Yeah. We've seen it on the channel just with the electrician that did really well the other day. All the people sharing their salaries and what they made in the different states as an electrician or like their wage scale jobs or so there's a lot of conversations brewing on the channel that make me think of where we could take this off. But yeah, just sticking with our main channel now and just trying to get that kicked off. And if anybody wants to help with funding or like I said, if it fits with our schedule, we'd be happy to fly out to your facility and interview a bunch of different workers. And I will say it's not just construction workers. We are definitely interviewing like HR professionals and marketing and project management and estimating and sales roles. Anybody that represents the construction industry, we want to make sure we represent.
I love it. And then are you going to have the way the channel works? Are you going to house those in separate areas too, or will it be separate channels or one channel and you can come in and figure it out based on your search criteria inside your channel?
What do you mean by that?
Meaning like let's say I'm an electrical contractor, that video went today, right? But what
Mhm.
about the elevator folks or the underwater welding, or is it just like just to be a scroll, or would you constantly continually post these in place? Like I'm thinking of a YouTube channel, for
Oh,
example, you can
yeah.
search the channel, but on this particular one, like you're just going to have a feed, right? So how do
Yes.
people find it?
So I believe TikTok has playlists. So ultimately, I'd like to have a playlist for each trade category. So
Nice. Okay.
electricians, you can just go like we still have to build up the content because we're fairly new, but yes, it'll be a playlist. So if you're interested in an electrical career, you can click on the electrical playlist and just hear from a bunch of electricians about their
Oh, that's
journeys.
awesome.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. Same.
I didn't even know you could do that.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'm still learning a lot about TikTok because most of my clients won't even get on TikTok, and I don't think that they necessarily need to for a commercial contractor. Um, but for learning and educational purposes, yeah, I think TikTok's great. And Instagram, same thing. They have highlights.
Mhm.
So we'll start building out those highlights, and we'll have a category for each position too. So you can just scroll the highlight and pick it and search that way too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I think it's so cool what you're doing though. You already, here you are, you own a construction contracting marketing firm. You have multiple clients. You know, one of their biggest pain points, which you are trying to help them solve on a one-to-one basis, is recruiting, telling a
Mhm.
better story, highlighting their business and their company, not only for their customers to expand their own businesses, attract new customers, but also being successful at marketing, attracting new customers means you're going to need more people, right? And
Yeah.
now helping them solve that problem with this channel, I think is really cool. And I admire you for doing that. It's an awesome step. And it's a huge need in the industry. I mean, I talk to anyone in construction, tangential to it or right in the middle of it, and anywhere inside the waterfall from the owner down to the construction contractor, GC, developers, everyone in between, their biggest concern is labor. Their biggest concern is finding someone to do the work and perform the work. And you're right at the tip of the spear here and helping solve that, and bringing new talent into the industry is really the answer.
Yes, and I need everyone's help. I cannot do this alone. This is a national social media campaign. So, and I have not done it alone. There's the school systems that are helping me. There's the funding support from Harbor Freights and Bendable Labs. Then you have Skills USA that's jumped on board. Then I have my local contractors that are like, yes, please come out to our job site and spend 5 minutes with us and interview. Like, it's not a lot of time I'm asking, by the way. Like maybe an hour, we come out there, we interview 5 to 10 people about what they like about their job, and we do all the editing and everything. You don't have to worry about anything. So, and like I said, you're free once we post the video to go on that site and start recruiting up and down the channel as it takes off. That's all you. I just want to be a part of a bigger picture of giving just your regular person access to opportunities that they're not even aware of. Like, I just don't think it's fair when you're in high school and you just get pushed down one route, which is college. Maybe sometimes they push you towards military, but there's so many other opportunities out there that
Yeah.
they're not even, have the chance to see. So I just want to make sure, we're spreading that word as honestly and authentically as we can. And you can make that decision about your career path. You have all the opportunities laid out in front of you. So you don't, spend a ton in student loans, yeah.
I love it. So I want to transition to three questions, and I'm curious to hear your answers from the business side of your brain.
Uh-oh.
I'm going to ask you three quick questions, and you tell me what your first thought is that comes to mind as it relates to the construction world or just business in general. All right.
Okay.
What's the best advice you've ever received?
Best advice I ever received?
Hmm.
Um, I think so. I would say trying to get training and understanding yourself and be self-aware. So there's all these different um is it leadership quizzes like the Myers-Briggs, like things like that, and really understanding your strengths and your weaknesses and not guessing at them, but there's great tools out there and you can really see the bigger picture of the people that you work with and how you can work better with them. I was just in my entrepreneurship class yesterday, and we just had a one-page sheet where we had to check like different personality traits types of things. And I was in the amiable side of the category, which, you have tons of different skills with that personality, whether it's, compassionate, empathetic, but you could be like a little soft. Um, and it's just trying to leverage like who you are in different
Yeah.
situations. So I think just really taking the time to take those tests and being self-aware about who you are and the people around you and how to work better. Sorry, that's a long answer.
I
I
love it.
don't know, it's shorten that.
What's your favorite business book?
So I was not prepared for this. I am not a big reader, to be honest. Hello. I love documentaries. I love learning by watching and listening and podcasts. But I will say Anne Hanley's Everybody Writes book is an excellent read. Because in this day and age, everybody is writing and everyone, has a personal brand, whether you like it or not. So how are you showing up online? And
I love it.
that's a really good, easy read. And she's a little funny too. So that I would recommend Anne Hanley's Everybody Writes book.
I like it. And lastly, thinking through from the business and construction side, what do you think, working with your clients, what do you think they believe is the most underrated skill in the construction industry that you could have?
So say that again.
What do you think is the most underrated skill in the construction industry that you could possess?
Underrated skill. Like from a construction worker?
Yeah.
Just
Like you're thinking about, let's say there's a group of people, they're thinking about getting into construction and they're rolling through the videos. And one of your construction owners would say, all the people who own a construction company, they're saying, man, this is the most valued skill. This is the most valued skill. This is the most underrated skill. I love it when people have this skill, this skill. What is that? Is there a skill or theme of those skills that you think and hear about that you think could be very valuable or are very valuable to construction business owners or people thinking about entering into the construction field?
Well, on a marketing side of things, it's just being able to tell your story and efficiently, effectively, and being really concise and short. People have a really hard time doing that, and they tend to say too many things and they offer the world. So if you're everything to everyone, you are nothing to no one. So when you first tell someone, like, I'm a mechanical contractor, and then you rattle off your services or you just say, we do it all, no one's going to remember that. So you have to be really precise when you're going to network or sell your business and come up with your elevator pitch. If you're 30 seconds in an elevator with someone, how are you going to stay memorable? The mechanical contractors, there could be 3 different mechanical contractors, but they all do completely 3 different things. We have one that has 400 employees and specializes in schools, hospitals, data centers. Then the next one maybe just does replacement equipment, small fit out projects. And then you have another one that does retail projects. Like, it's very important to really know your business and not just you, but make sure all of your employees have the same message so they remember you. Yeah, like they say, if you niche, you get rich. So everyone's so worried about missing a category or service, but it's better to be known for something than to be known for nothing at all.
Yeah, that's great advice. That's great advice in life too. But I mean, be concise, know who you are, be able to articulate it quick and fast, and stay in your lane. Master that lane. Be known for that. Be known as the best in that is a great set of advice. I love
Yeah,
that.
and it doesn't mean other opportunities won't come up. Like with my business, I strictly work with commercial contractors, but I had a farmer approach me, organic farm, and we talked and I thought it was going to be a great fit. So I did their website. So it doesn't mean that you're not going to get another opportunity if you don't talk about it as much, but it's better to be known for something first.
I love it. I
Yeah.
love it. Well, Stacey, we are going to put all the information in the show notes so everyone doesn't have to jot their pencils down and try to remember where your numbers and ways to reach you on your email. We'll put all that here in the show notes. I just really thank you for coming on again in the show, a repeat guest, this time bringing something even more new. And I hope everybody supports your new venture, Chat CTE. I know they will. I think it's a great piece of opportunity for people to really solve the problem that they want to. And you've now given them a platform to support and be able to do that both with content, money, and even other types of ways they can help market you and promote you, even if they just share it. I love it.
Thank you so much for having us and spreading the word. It takes a village to get this kicked off. So I really appreciate the support.
Well, you're very welcome. Well, everybody, let's go out and support Chat CTE and Stacey and Steel Toe Communications. She is working hard to solve one of the biggest problems we all have here in the construction industry, recruiting and bringing in new and younger talent. So let's support her. In the meantime, share the show, support us. If you need anything, give us a call. In the meantime, have a great week and God bless you.
Awesome.